Welcome back to the channel Iraqi Dinar Updates, where we break down global financial stories in simple, straightforward language. Today, we're diving into one of the most controversial and talked about currency topics, the Iraqi Dinar Revaluation, or RV. Is Iraq about to reset the value of its currency? Could this be the financial opportunity some people claim it is? Or is it just another internet rumor? Stick with us as we unpack the facts, review the latest updates from inside Iraq, and separate speculation from reality. Whether you're a curious observer or already holding dinar, this is one video you don't want to miss. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most talked about topics in global currency speculation, the Iraqi Dinar Revaluation, commonly known as the Dinar RV. For many people around the world, especially those invested in foreign currencies, this term has sparked curiosity, excitement, and a whole lot of speculation. But what exactly does it mean when people say the Iraqi dinar might revalue? Is there any truth behind it? And what's really happening in Iraq right now that could affect the value of its currency? To begin, we need to understand what a currency revaluation is. In simple terms, it means that a country's central bank or monetary authority officially increases the value of its currency in comparison to other currencies. This is usually done under a fixed exchange rate regime. In the case of Iraq, the dinar has had a long and complicated history, especially since the early 2000s, when the country went through war, regime change, and economic collapse. After the fall of Saddam Hussein, the Central Bank of Iraq introduced a new dinar to stabilize the economy. However, due to sanctions, instability, and corruption, the currency never regained significant strength on the global market. Currently, the Iraqi dinar is traded as a heavily managed exchange rate. As of now, it stands at approximately 1,310 dinars to $1. This is far from the rate it used to have decades ago, which is one of the main reasons why people believe the dinar will revalue at some point in the future. There's a narrative out there that Iraq's rich natural resources, especially oil, along with improvements in its political and financial systems, could one day lead to a massive increase in the value of its currency. Now, if we look at Iraq's current economic situation, there are some important things happening that might make people think a revaluation is around the corner. The country has been pushing for more financial independence, transparency, and modernization. Recently, the Central Bank of Iraq has been working closely with international organizations, including the U.S. Treasury and the IMF, to improve its banking systems and reduce reliance on cash-based transactions. There has been a strong emphasis on digital banking, tighter regulations, and limiting money laundering and currency smuggling issues that have plagued the country for years. Furthermore, Iraq is experiencing a budget surplus, thanks to steady oil exports and higher oil prices over the last year. Oil accounts for more than 90% of Iraq's revenue, and this influx of petrodollars has allowed the government to invest more in infrastructure and social programs. At the same time, they're trying to manage inflation, reduce the black market for dollars, and improve public trust in the financial system. All of those are steps that, in theory, could support a stronger currency over time. However, despite these improvements, there is no official announcement from the Iraqi government or the central bank that they plan to revalue the dinar in the dramatic way some people are expecting. The term RV is mostly used in speculative circles and mainly by those who have already bought large amounts of Iraqi dinar in the hopes that one day, it will shoot up in value and make them rich overnight. These speculations often claim that the dinar could return to pre-war levels, even reaching $1 dinar per $1. But in reality, such a dramatic revaluation is extremely unlikely without a complete economic overhaul and political transformation in Iraq. It's also important to remember that currency values don't just change based on hope or resource necessity. They depend on factors like inflation rates, interest rates, government debt, foreign reserves, trade balances, and investor confidence. Iraq still faces challenges in many of these areas. While the country is slowly rebuilding, it's still dealing with internal political tensions, regional instability, and ongoing corruption. These factors make it difficult for Iraq to maintain the kind of financial reputation needed to support a high-value currency. That said, there has been some movement in the exchange rate in recent years. In 2020, the Central Bank of Iraq devalued the dinar to around 1,460 per dollar as part of a financial reform strategy. In early 2023, the government partially reversed that decision and brought it back to around 1,300 per dollar to help ease inflation pressures. These changes are not revaluations in the dramatic sense, they are technical adjustments, not massive upward moves that would make dinar holders wealthy overnight. Some recent news suggests that Iraq is working on reducing its dependence on the US dollar in trade, particularly with Iran and other neighboring countries. They're aiming to settle more trade in dinars or other currencies like the euro, yuan, or even local bilateral agreements. While this can help stabilize the dinar and strengthen its international position, it doesn't automatically mean the currency will surge in value. There's also been talk in Iraqi media and political circles about issuing a new series of banknotes or even redenominating the dinar to remove zeros and simplify transactions. Redenomination is often confused with revaluation, but they are not the same. Redenomination changes the face value of banknotes but doesn't affect their real purchasing power. For example, turning 1,000 dinars into one new dinar doesn't mean the currency got stronger, it just makes accounting easier. So, where does that leave us today? If you're someone watching the news out of Iraq, hoping for the dinar to make a big move, the truth is it's complicated. While the country is making progress on multiple fronts, and there is genuine potential for long-term economic growth, there is no confirmed plan for a massive revaluation of the currency in the near future. Much of the talk about the Dinar RV remains rooted in speculation, not policy. That being said, Iraq is a nation with significant untapped potential. Its population is young, its soil reserves are massive, and its strategic location makes it a key player in the Middle East. If the government continues on the path of reform, fights corruption effectively, and invests in the real economy, not just oil, it's entirely possible the dinar could strengthen gradually over time. But this would be a slow and steady process, not an overnight windfall. In conclusion, the Iraqi Dinar RV is more of a dream or hope among currency speculators than a confirmed financial event. Iraq is improving, and there are reasons for cautious optimism, but any talk of a one-to-one exchange with the US dollar should be viewed with skepticism. Always do your research, stay informed through reliable sources, and be cautious of anyone promising guaranteed riches through dinar investments. The story of Iraq's economy is still being written, and while the next chapters may be more stable and prosperous, it's not a fairy tale, it's a real-world journey with real-world challenges. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates on global currencies, financial speculation, and economic news, especially from Iraq and the Middle East. Let us know in the comments, do you think the Iraqi dinar will revalue anytime soon? Or is it all just hype? Your opinions matter, and we'd love to hear your take. Until next time, stay informed, stay cautious, and always do your own research before making any investment decisions. See you in the next video.